Hey everyone, Anders here. We're going to quickly go over the latest update for Global Labs in Black Desert. Apologies for the week of no uploads, was not really feeling great. Needed to take some time to get better, but we're all good now. As for today's patch, minor class changes, and we finally have the Wukong skill enhancements and Awakening BSR. But first, for other classes, Sorceress Midnight Stinger received a slight damage buff at base, but they also had their max mana extra damage effect removed. For Berserker, they improved camera rotation movement for evasion, scattershot, and ancient wave. For Ranger, riding the wind will no longer collide while airborne, and you can now use riding the wind and twisting wind to move down slopes. You can also now dash forward to transition into Awakening after using evasive landing shot. For Valkyrie, the basic attack in Awakening will no longer auto attack as you use it to the left or to the right, and it's now going to function more like the pre-awakened version. For Deadeye, from Canary with Love input has changed to LMB and RMB at the same time. For Wukong, they removed Stiffness CC in PvP from the WRMB skill. Shift F is now a stun CC in PvP as well on that first hit. Buddha's Finger can now be activated with LMB while still holding the W key as well. For the Wukong skill enhancements, at level 56 you'll have a choice of a quick, unprotected attack or a slower forward guard skill. At level 57 you'll have the choice of a super armor attack that teleports you behind the enemy, or a much longer super armor into iframe into super armor skill that also applies a slow debuff on the enemy. At level 58 you'll have a choice of an effect that will change your gourd skill into a long range attack that's still going to refill your dough energy, or a 5-minute cooldown skill that will instantly place you in your Buddha state and fill your dough energy completely. For BSR Awakening skills, your 10% BSR Buddha's Finger deals more damage, 25% Shift F deals more damage and has a larger AoE, and the 50% BSR Upheaval adds an extra attack and deals more damage. For other changes, Magic Crystals had a balance adjustment with this one. In their own words, they say damage reduction stats for certain Magic Crystals will be adjusted in this patch. Some of these crystals will now belong to the increased damage reduction group, allowing you to equip up to 2 at once. For crystals designed with PvE in mind, their all damage reduction effect will be changed to a slightly stronger monster damage reduction effect. This change is intended to bring down PvP setups that were performing a bit too strongly. We'll continue to monitor balance closely after the update to ensure a fairer PvP environment. The crystal changes don't seem to be that impactful in my opinion, and this does not change fundamentally how DR stacking works, so I'm not sure what the plan is here. We'll see on live servers if they do anything else related to DR stacking, and if really these are all the changes they have planned. If you do some PvP, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Nymphomare and Orbita monster zones were mechanically improved, so health of some structures were changed, and overall it looks like they're trying to make them slightly faster to grind. Rizalka's HP was also reduced by 20%. The new Adania Monster Zone weeklies were also added. You can only choose one of these at a time. Node Wars received some tier changes to nodes as well as gear cap increases. In their own words, they say we've slightly raised the stat limits for limited node and conquest wars to maintain balance following the recent combat system overhaul and the updated damage calculation formula. For tier 1 limited node wars, many adventurers have been participating with pen to Vala gear. With this adjustment, slightly stronger gear will now be required. That said, these stat limits have been set at a level that can still be comfortably reached with gear obtainable through current challenges and quests, so you won't need anything extreme to participate. We'll keep a close eye on how node and conquest war plays out after this update, and we'll make further adjustments if needed. I'm actually working on a new player guide with a fresh account similar to the Starting Over series we did maybe 5 or 6 years ago now. But in playing that new account, I found the sheer amount of materials you get to boost you from Pantavala is actually pretty immense. So I am leaning towards believing that yes, it probably won't be harder for a new player to get into tier 1 node wars if they want to. I think the problem still resides in class balance and diversity for PvP. Hongling-based terrain has also been changed and they made it easier to climb the Litavan mountains. We also have some improvements and quality of life updates. They added a new setting to allow you to set whether or not to receive notification messages about guild member enhancement results and life skill level ups. Very good change to deal with notification spam in larger guilds. They're also adding a feature so that when you set a far off destination on the world map, navigation will now guide you through the nearest abyssal well. The rest of these are going to be bug fixes for a lot of things. The new expansion came with a ton of issues, which hopefully most will get solved by next week. And that's all for this one. I have a backlog of videos to get through, so expect more uploads through this weekend. Let me know what you think about the new Adania expansion. What about these new Wukong skills? Let me know in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.